Fine. So starting the class, a quick reminder to you all, gosh, a quick reminder to you all, or it's something that you will already know, that your school is starting soon and we will have different things taught in the school. If any of you are kind of struggling with something taught in the school, something that you would want me to cover ahead of time, you have to just let me know a day or two in advance before every class. Okay? So like this Sunday, I will go with my flow. Whatever topic I have planned, that's what I will go with. But next week when you go to school and if you see that there is certain topic taught in the class that you are not comfortable with, just let me know. Say, okay sir, can you cover this topic? Yeah? So that way, we'll make sure that you guys are able to keep pace with your classes. At the same time, we are enjoying our learning journey as well. Okay? So let me do a quick roll call and then we get started. So we have Ayush here, then we have Arav, Arsh, Advik, Ananya, Ansika, Athar, Deekshita, Ananya Rain. See, Ananya also I have to. Gushan, Hiranya, and Ram. Where is Sri? Coming?
Yes, it's
Okay. Alright. And we have Sanita also. So let's get started. Now, I have been trying my best to force you guys to watch the videos of the class. And again, that's more of a dad joke. But yes, I'm very keen on the fact that you guys have to watch the video of the class and then make your notes after every class. Because if you just hear me talk, if you only practice few problems in the class and don't revise it, don't make your own notes, then it's very likely, it's very much possible that you will guys will forget what we learned. So I found out a technique that will ensure you guys revising it, and I will also get benefit from that actually. So here's the rule that you all have to follow. And what I want you guys to do is after every class, once I upload the video of the class, watch the video and then on YouTube put a comment saying, this is Ansika. Today we learned XYZ. Just write one line. Okay? Deekshita will also say the same thing. Hello sir, this is Deekshita. Today we learned, let's say, fraction multiplication. I'm just making it up. You guys don't learn that. You have learned from your work. Yeah? So, I will get comments, I will get extra views, because you are the only ones who are getting views. If anybody is on YouTube and he is not getting views, it's of no use. So, that is not my motivation. I'm just trying to make sure that with some good or bad technique, everybody is revising it and making their own notes. Okay? That's the key. And I have no problem teaching you guys the same concept 10 more times. But every time we should be learning it for a betterment rather than because we are forgetting things. So, Dutta, can you close the door for me? Just press that button. The Q mark. Above. Yeah, the Q. Yeah. Okay. Now, all the preaching I had to do, I have already done. All the rules I have to follow that I followed out. So let's get started. Everybody okay with that, right? So if today, see, I know today we have 18 kids here in the online and 2 kids in person. 20 kids. I'm supposed to see at least 20 remarks or 20 comments on YouTube video. And again, it's not about me getting comments or likes, it's about you guys confirming that yes, I am invited. I have looked at the video no time. And again, you don't have to see the entire video because there is a lot of unproductive elements to it. Only watch it for the piece that is meaningful for you guys. Okay? Look, Prisha. So, Prisha, you missed the class on Monday. We missed you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm see. I'm not going to be a crybaby, but I will keep on reminding you guys because that is how we will be able to. Okay, Pranav. But then you will have to watch the video, and that is a mandate for everybody. And then if there is any question, just let me know. Now let's go to what we are wanting to learn today. So this week our focus is going to be on, yeah, you see something? So Ayush, you might want to move a little bit, maybe one more foot. You can move one more foot here, so you guys can get some cold breeze from there. Alright. So today we are going to talk about linear and exponential growth. Now, before I start, what is the understanding that you guys have? What is everybody's understanding of linear and exponential growth? And how does it actually matter? And how does it relate to what you guys already know? Let's see. Yes, Prashant.
So when it's a linear, when it's linear, that means it's going up by a constant rate of change.
Okay. Yes, Pranav, go for it.
When it's exponential, it will go by a factor.
Okay. Anybody else? Sargita, Vasundhara, Vishal, anybody? And everybody is welcome to share their point of view. Ram, how about you, Ram? What is your understanding of linear and exponential growth and how does it actually matter to us? Any point of view is a good point of view. Yes, Aaron, go for it.
Linear, I would constantly like it doubles or it exponential. Like it
Okay. Anybody else? A third? No? See, initial 10 minutes, I'm going to muddle the water to make sure that everybody gets it in a way that a 5-year-old can understand. And then we will look at the problems that even a 20-year-old might have problems solving. Okay? So first 10 minutes of our class is only going to focus on the conceptual part of it. Now, I heard Arav, I heard Pranav, I heard Gushal also. Anybody wants to add anything? Krisha or Vasundhara, Vishal, Vivan, Ananya, Ansika, anybody?
linear growth is when
You guys have to learn the art of shouting at your teacher. No, be loud, it's okay. You don't have to.
I'm a little sick.
Okay.
Linear growth is like when
Keep going, keep
it's
going.
like it's like the line whenever you're graphing it, like the line is straight, showing that the difference between the points is always the same. Whereas exponential growth, it's like it's changing more rapidly.
Okay. 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 So, first of all, is everybody able to see the screen okay? Yeah? Prisha, Krishan, Ram, Everybody? Okay. If you look at the first table, this one, here I have the value pair of x and y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 values of x we have here. And y has 5, 8, 11, 14, 17, 20 and 23. In this table, what you are seeing is when x increments by 1, y increments by 3 points. When x went from 3 to 4, it went from 11 to 14. When x went from 4 to 5, it went from 14 to 17. So here, this is representing a scenario of addition. Now you look at this situation. X values are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and y values 3, 6, 12, 24, 48, 96, 192. Here, for every increase of x by 1, y is getting doubled from the previous value. So this is an example of multiplication. When you are dealing with a scenario of addition, you are talking about linear growth. When you are looking at the scenario of multiplication, we are talking about exponential growth. And it makes sense, right? If I look at this case, after 7, when I go to x equal to 8, in this case it will go to 46. Sorry, not 46. It will become 26. Where in this case, it will become 192 into 2. That is 384. So look at the amount of growth that is happening here versus here. So that's why people also opt to say exponential growth is a scenario which represents very rapid growth. You might not notice that speed or the amount of being rapid in the initial phases, but as your input increases, your y value starts increasing much faster. Okay? But in simpler terms, I am saying this is addition scenario, this is multiplication scenario. This is linear growth, this is exponential growth. Now, you guys will say, we have heard something about linear. Okay? We have talked about linear equation quite in depth. Let's see how does it actually relate to what we know about linear equation. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to move this guy to a corner so that we will come back to it later. Now let's look at this guy here. When x is 1, y is 5. When x is 2, y is 8. So what we are seeing here is x is equal. So okay, let's look at these two scenarios. When x is 1, y is 5. So let's try putting this value in ax plus by plus c equal to 0. Okay, this is linear equation, right? I mean, it's a linear growth. We are just trying to establish the relationship between this linear growth and the linear equation. Okay, so this is a standard form for linear equation, right? X plus by plus c equal to 0. Let's pick up one value here. X is 1. Or what I will do is, I will get a little bit greedy here. I will move this a little bit back and put x equal to 0 also, then see what happens. When x is 0, it will reduce by 3, so it will become 2. Yeah? Now put x equal to 0 here. A times 0, this is 0. Plus b times y is 2. Plus c equal to 0. So we got b, 2b plus c equal to 0 or b equal to minus c by 2. Yeah? Are you guys with me so far or not really? See, what I am trying to do here is, we are trying to make sure that anything that we learn we take a step back and try relating that with what we know. If I am saying this is linear growth, does it have anything related to linear equation or not? That's what we are trying to establish here. Yeah? Make sense or no? Okay. So we are trying to say, okay, let's assume that this is representing a linear equation. Or if this one is looking complicated, let's use something called a simpler form of equation, which is y equal to mx plus c. If this is linear growth, it will draw a straight line with a given slope. We don't know how much is the slope right now. Okay? Let's plug in here. When x is 0, this becomes 0 and y is 2. 2 equal to 0 plus c. What we got? C equal to 2. Okay? Now let's try putting that value here in this. C is 2. So y equal to mx plus 2. And we still don't know whether this m is correct or not. What is the value of m? Let's try assuming that this is a linear equation and it's following the slope intercept form. Let's put the value of 1 and 5 here. So when y is 5, m times x is 1 plus 2. So what we got here is 5 minus 2 equal to m, or m equal to 3. If this is to be believed, okay, let me first put the value of that we have got, c equal to 2 and m equal to 3. And if you guys are still trying to figure out what is going on, why we are even trying to bother about it, okay? So let me see the story for everybody. Let me see who all are here in the class. If somebody joined when I was not there, when I was lost with what I was doing, so Priya has joined, Sachin also has joined, and Thiru is here as well. Okay. So for everybody to be on the same page, let me stitch my story from beginning. Today we are going to talk about linear and exponential growth. Okay? Linear growth, when we talk about, this is a scenario that is representing linear growth, meaning when the next number, when you increase the value of x, the value of y increases by a fixed amount, by a constant. So when x was 0, y was 2. When x became 1, y became 2 plus 3, 5. When x became 2, it became 5 plus 3, 8. When x became 3, it became 8 plus 3, 11. So it's an addition scenario, and we call it linear growth scenario. Yeah? Is that okay so far? Similarly, the one that you are seeing here, this one, we call this is the exponential growth scenario. This is the exponential growth scenario where when x increases by 1, the y value gets doubled against the previous value. Okay? So when x was 1, y was 3, x became 2, it became 3 times 2, 6. X became 3, it became 6 times 2, 12. X became 4, it became 12 times 4, 24. 12 times 2, 24. So here it's a multiplication scenario and we are calling this exponential growth scenario. Okay, so linear growth, addition scenario, exponential growth, multiplication scenario, that's what we are calling it. Is everybody on the same page so far? Thiru, Sachin, Vasundhara, Vishal, Divan, everybody okay so far? Now, like always, I keep on troubling you guys, right? And why I do so? Because I never get satisfied with one scenario, one condition, one understanding. I have the habit of nagging, right? I keep bothering you guys, please keep your video on. Why is your video on? Turn it on. Okay, everybody keep your videos on. So here, what we are doing is, we are trying to see, okay, if I am talking about linear growth, what is the relationship this has with the linear equation that we are aware of? Don't close the door. Yes, just a second, guys. Okay, we'll see. Alright, so when we are talking about linear growth, we are trying to figure out what is the relationship it has with linear equations that we are aware of. And that's what we are trying to establish. Are you guys okay with that? So, we looked at the linear growth scenario. X equal to 0, y equal to 2, x equal to 1, y equal to 5, 2, 8, 3, 11, 4, 14, and so on and so forth. If this linear growth has any relationship with linear equation, let's figure it out. So we are assuming that it has relationship with a linear equation, and the most favorable equation or most used form of linear equation is y equal to mx plus c, slope intercept form. And we are trying to say, okay, let's assume that this is linear growth and linear equation has relationship. Let's see if this is satisfied or not. So we said, okay, fine, let's take this scenario, 0 and 2. X is 0, y is 2. 2 m into 0 plus c. From that we got c equal to 2. We put that value. So far we are surviving with the assumptions only. Okay. Now, so we got value of c equal to 2 if this is taking a linear equation. Now we are trying to find out m. So y equal to mx plus c. C we have figured out 2 from this value. Let's pick this value now and try to find out the value of m. So if I look at this value 1 and 5, so m times 1, which is x, equal to y is 5 plus 2. So from this we found m equal to 3. So m into 1 is m plus 2 equal to 5. So m equal to 5 minus 2, which is 3. So we got the value of m equal to 3 and c equal to 2 if this is representing a linear equation. Okay. Now let's see the behavior. Y equal to 3x, m is 3 plus 2. Now look at any combination of x and y and see if that satisfies this one or not. Let's pick up 4 and 14. So when x is 4, 3 into 4 plus 2 and y is obviously 14. So 3 4 are 12 plus 2 14. Yes, this one satisfies. Okay, now let's pick up another one. Let's say go to 8 and 26 and see if this one also satisfies this condition or not. So 8 and 26, meaning x is 8. 3 times 8 plus 2. 24 plus 2, 26. See? So basically when you are talking about linear growth, it has a direct relationship with the fact that a linear growth is also directly linked with a linear equation, or a linear growth scenario. If you look at all the combination of x and y values, it will draw a straight line only for us. Did that make sense? Let me first take a pause here. And if you ask me, did I teach you guys anything new? No, I did not. What I am trying to do here is, I am trying to make sure that 6 months down the line, when you guys learn 10 more things, all the things that we learn should not be existing in isolation, because math has everything very closely linked. That is the linkage we are trying to establish here. It is called linear growth for a reason, because it draws a straight line for us. It is represented by a linear equation. Yeah? Yes or no? Make sense? Who is not convinced here? And I am certainly open to hearing that point of view also. Riya, Risha, Sachin, Ananya, both Ananyas. Anshika, anybody? Gushan, Sri, Athar, anybody? See, again, I'm not saying that whatever I say you have to blindly accept it. I'm making you guys think and question yourself and question me too. Think that, sir, I'm not really convinced yet. Are you guys convinced? Yeah? Pranav, I did a good job here. Oh, awesome. Ansika, convinced? Inanya, how about you, sir? Okay. So, for all the kids who joined late, just a reminder for you all, make sure that after every class when I upload the video, watching the video is mandatory, and you guys will also give me a comment in the video. Okay? So let's say I upload the video to this class by today evening and send out the link, let's say tomorrow. Between next 1 or 2 days when you spend 15 minutes to watch the video, don't watch all the blabber that I do, that is not productive. I certainly don't want you guys to waste your time on me and my unnecessary talks or the preaching part. Okay? So, only look at the meat of it. Here, this whole thing that I was explaining, right? That how is this related to a linear equation? This is relevant. This part you will watch, and after you finish that video, you just put a remark, say, okay, this is Dikshita. Sir, we saw how we relate linear growth with the linear equation concept. Just one line. That is more than enough. Yeah? Same thing for Gushan, same thing for Ram, everybody. Yeah? Alright. Now, we saw this one. Linear growth and linear equation are directly linked. We cannot deny that. If anybody denies, we can take them head on. Yeah? Dikshita, okay with it? Yeah? You are ready to take people head on. Don't go for any physical fight, but yes, as long as that is a mathematical argument, never be shy. Now let's look at the exponential one. Okay? Athar, okay? Okay. Arav, Advik, are you guys convinced? Anubhav, so far, making sense? Arsh? See, I am giving you guys the opportunity to argue with me, put me down, prove me wrong. I love all that. Because math is ahead of me. If I am doing something wrong with math, please feel free to argue for everybody's benefit. Okay? Now, look at this one. We are saying that this is an exponential growth scenario. What we are seeing here is, for every increase of x, y is being doubled here. Okay? Or the multiplication scenario. Let's pick up a very simple multiplication scenario. Very simple multiplication scenario. Let's say my equation is y equal to x squared. Okay? Now, what will happen here? If I am looking at this scenario, what will happen here? This time I am going the other way around. Okay? So that you guys cannot predict my behavior. This time going the other way around. We are saying this is exponential growth is nothing but multiplication scenario. When the previous number, next number is multiplication of the previous number by some coefficient, some factor. So for the sake of simplicity, what I am saying is, okay, this is x, this is y. When x is 1, y is 1 squared, that is 1. When x is 2, y is 2 squared, that is 4. When x is 3, y is 3 squared, 9, 4, 16, 5, 25, 6, 36. So here, the next number is not a multiplication of any coefficient, but it's a multiplication by itself. So this is also multiplication scenario, so this is also exponential growth. And this can be represented by this. And if you guys have looked at exponential equations, the first exponential form of the equation that you will come across will be called quadratic equation. This is a quadratic equation where the power to the variable, one of the variable is 2. And when you try plotting it in a coordinate plane, parabola. It plot parabola. Any quadratic equation will plot a parabola. Whether the parabola is like this or this or this or this or this or this, that we'll see when we go to quadratic equation. We'll look at the property and behavior of quadratic equation and understand that. But here from the concept point of view, yeah.
I'm pretty sure quadratic equations don't go this way.
It can go any possible. We'll peel off the onion till the last layer of it. Okay? So when we go to quadratic equation, so you will see how the different components of the quadratic equation brings all possible transformations that we can think about. Okay? So simplest example is y equal to x square plus bx plus c. This guy is your culprit who will decide whether the parabola is going to face upward, downward, this way or this way. Alright. So again, let me not jump the gun here. I'll go step by step. We'll look at each and every property and how it works. But so far, is everybody okay with the understanding of linear growth and exponential growth? Simplest possible way to relate it would be when your next term is coming after adding something to your previous term, you talk about linear growth. It relates to a linear equation. When you look at all the possible values of two inputs, x and y, it will draw a straight line for us. That's why it's called linear growth, because it has direct linkage with the linear equation or straight line of equation of a straight line. Similarly, when you talk about exponential growth, it has a direct linkage with any exponential form of the equation. Okay? And it comes from multiplication by previous term or multiplication by itself. Any possible flavor is okay. Yeah? Shall we move on? Now, I am tired talking. I want you guys to get tired as well. But jokes apart, what we'll do is, for next hour, hour and a half, our goal would be to focus on practicing enough problems. For today, I have picked up some easier problems, more like a jump start one. Or, to be very honest with you guys, from Khan Academy. Tomorrow, I will go do my hunt in or on the AI platforms. My single source of truth are two, Claude and ChatGPT. I shamelessly go to these platforms and say, okay, give me 20 challenging word problems on these concepts for SAT preparation. And it goes overboard. It picks up questions which I myself have not seen before. So when you guys are solving it, it is equally new for me also. Okay? So let's see. So what we'll do is, we will look at the first problem. But before I start talking about the problems, let me quickly check. Arav, Ash, Atik, Ananya and Sika, Anubhav. Are you guys okay so far? Everybody okay? Atharv, Deekshita, Ananya, Gushan, Ram, Riya, Sachi, everybody okay? Riya, you have been very quiet, but everything is okay so far? Okay. Sanjita, Amatita, are you okay? Pranav? Okay. Vasundhara, Vishal, everyone. And how about Thiru? Thiru, I know you came back from India, trying to settle down, moved from one group to another group. Is everything making sense so far to you?
Yeah.
Okay. then that's why I told you I'm an amazing teacher, isn't it? I'm just kidding. Let's start. And I should be very serious. Don't be serious. Be light-minded, okay? Because when you're in a very light mood, your creativity will be of a different level, okay? Okay, let's hear this question. Let me read this question a couple of times. Maria and Joe have a large tomato garden. Maria and Joe have a large tomato garden. On day 1, when the tomatoes first ripened, they picked 3 tomatoes. Each day thereafter, as more tomatoes ripened, they doubled the number of tomatoes they picked. Let T be the number of tomatoes picked on day D. Which of the following best explain the relationship between D and T? So let me do one thing. Let me put down the options here.
Option A says this is exponential. Relationship is exponential because T increases by 6 as D changes from D1 to D equal to 1 to 2.
I'm just writing the short form of the options, otherwise I'll end up wasting the whole time just writing the options. The second one says this is linear. This relationship is linear because T increases by a factor of 2. Each time D increases by 1. When D increases by 1. Option C, and I will read the question again for you guys. The relationship is linear. This one also says linear because T increases by 3 as D changes from D equal to 0 to 1. Option D says the relationship is exponential because T increases by a factor of 2 each time D increase by 1. For every D increase by 1. Okay, so we'll come back to these options later. Let's read the question one more time. Maria and Joe have a large tomato garden. On day 1, when the tomatoes first ripened, they picked 3 tomatoes. On day 1, they picked 3 tomatoes. Each day thereafter, as more tomatoes ripened, they doubled the number of tomatoes they picked. Let T be the number of tomatoes. T is number of tomatoes picked on day D. Which of the following best explains the relationship between D and T? Did everybody hear the question? Or anybody wants me to read one more time? Yes, Vishal. You got B. Okay. Let's see what Atik feels. Okay. So I will read the question before I go to everybody to hear their answers. Maria and Joe have a large tomato garden. On day 1, when the tomatoes first ripened, they picked 3 tomatoes. Each day thereafter, as more tomatoes ripened, they doubled the number of tomatoes they picked. Let T be the number of tomatoes picked on day D. Which of the following best explains the relationship between D and T? And the options are, option A says it is exponential because with T increasing, because T increases by 6 as D changes from D1 to D2. Second one says this is linear because T increases by a factor of 2 when D is greater than 1, when D increases by 1. Third option says it's linear because T increases by 3 as D increases from D0 to D1. And option 4 says it is exponential because T increases by a factor of 2 with every increase of D. Okay. Yes, Pranav.
I got D.
You also got D. Atharv. D. Ansika. D. Ananya.
D.
Admik. Dikshita. Sanvita. Sanvita, I cannot hear you well. D. Okay. Sachiv. Okay. Ananya.
D.
Okay. You also got D. Everybody got D. How about Prisha? Prisha cannot tell me anything.
I got D.
You also got D. How about Priya? Now comes the twist. I don't want you guys to solve all the problems. Now you must be wondering what is going on. The teacher himself says, I don't want my kids to solve all the problems. There is a deep-rooted message here. What I am trying to convey is, not every problem that you come across in your city test you would want to solve. There are two ways of getting to the right answer. One is by solving it, easy or long method. Second is by eliminating the unwanted options. And you have to take a call based on the situation. Why everybody is hiding from me? Sachin, Prisha, Dikshita, Ananya, Pranav, Adit, Arav, everybody is hiding from me. Guys, please keep your videos on, please. Okay? Atharv, everybody keep your video on. Okay? Vivaan is also not keeping the video on. See, this is everybody. And this problem is quite contagious in nature. What happens is, there are 10 kids, 2 of the kids will turn their video off, and then everybody starts thinking, oh, why only me? Turn it off. No, don't do that. Okay, so coming back to what I was saying was, in every exam, you don't want to solve to get to the solution. You have to also look at problems where you can eliminate to get to the answer. Now let's say you have only 30 seconds for solving this problem. This is the last problem in your test. If you are blindly picking up one of the options, your chances of getting it right is only 25%, 1 out of 4. You certainly want to improve your chances of being right. When you read this question, it said, on day 1 you picked 3 tomatoes, every subsequent day thereafter it multiplied by 2. So multiplication is the catch here. Meaning, the next day is multiplication of previous day's value. See, this is certainly not linear. These 2 options are ruled out immediately. So you improve your chances to, okay with that, alright, have fun.
Thank you.
No worries. You improve your chances of probability of being right from 25% to 50% by just eliminating these 2 unnecessary options. So again, I call it dirty technique by solving a problem without solving it. Don't go by the English that I use. But net the idea is, our goal is only one. That is, how do I get the best with the least effort or least time spent. Okay? And you will come across a situation like this in every possible exam where you will have less time and more problems to do. So this technique, I'll keep on repeating, reiterating, keep on reminding you guys. Okay, now, so only 1 and D. Now this guy is saying it is exponential because T increases by 6 when D increases from D1 to D2. This is again a crappy option. This says it multiplies by 2. First day it got 3, next day 3 became 6, the day following that will become 12, then will become 24. It doesn't have any linkage here. D increases by 6 when D became 1 to 2. That is not even true. So that is ruled out. Then this is the only option, good or bad, that you have to lean on. Yeah? Alright, let's go to the next one. So, whatever I said, every word of mine is worth $1 million, though you cannot cash it. So, let's go to the next one. Don't try and cash in my words, otherwise nobody will need to study. You guys will be all billionaires very soon. I wish you guys become millionaires. Not by in cashing my words, but by deciding your fate. Let's go to the next problem. A tank holding 600 liters of milk is leaking. So what we'll do is, we have only 14 minutes, right? So we have four more questions that we want to do. So we will look at the concept part of it, not probably the solution. A tank holding 600 liters of milk is leaking. A tank holding 600 liters of milk is leaking. A tank holding 600 liters of milk is leaking. Each week it loses 600 liters of milk.
It has 600 liters of milk. Each week it loses 60.
A tank holding 600 liters of milk is leaking. Each week it loses 60 liters of milk.
Let M be the number of liters of milk remaining in the tank after leaking for T weeks.
Which of the following best explain the relationship between T and M? I'll read one more time. A tank holding this much milk is leaking. Each week it leaks by 60 liters of milk. Let M be the number of liters of milk remaining in the tank after leaking for T weeks. Which of the following best explains the relationship between T and M? And the options are: the relationship is linear because M always decreases as the value of T increases. This is option 1. Option 2 is the relationship is exponential because M decreases by 60 each time T increases by 1. Option 3 is relationship is exponential because M is multiplied by a factor of 0.6 each time T increases by 1. And option D is the relationship is linear because M decreases by 60 each time T increases by 1. Yes, Adri.
I think it's option
Say one more time. Option 4. Anybody wants to prove Adri wrong?
Yep. Can you read the options again?
Option 1 is the relationship is linear because M always decreases as the value of T increases. The relationship is exponential because M decreases by 60 each time T increases by 1. Option C is the relationship is exponential.
So one says linear because M decreases when T increases. Option 2 is relationship is exponential because M decreases by 60 each time T increases by 1. Option 3 is exponential again because M is multiplied by a factor of 0.6 each time T increases by 1. Option 4 is relationship is linear because M decreases by 60 each time T increases by 1. Yes, Athar.
You guys have to shout at me. Athar, little louder. I could not hear you. 4. Okay, Chandrika. Vishal. Ansika, Disali. Nanya,
4,
Dushan, 4, Sachin, 4, yeah, 4, and again, same thing, same old time wasting technique, one more time. There was no need for me to go into these things. But I'm still doing that because I wanted to reiterate the fact here again. This is 600 liters of milk and that is leaking. Every week it leaks by 60. So it's decreasing by 60. If this is the amount of milk remaining, this is M, this is 600 minus 60 into T. After 1 week, it has reduced by 60. After one more week, it has reduced by 60 into 2. After one more week, it is 60 into 3 subtracted from this. And this is nothing but a linear equation. If you just relate it like this, you will immediately knock out these two options. Now between these two options, both are leading at linear equation or relating to linear equation, you will see which one is more relevant. It says M decreases with T increasing. Understood? Where the specificity? Here. This is point blank saying this is linear because M decreases by 60 for every increase of T. For every week, it reduces by 60 liters from the remaining milk in the container. Yeah? So, today's questions, these are sounding lighter. Use that as a jump start for today. Tomorrow I promise I'll give you guys enough opportunity to stretch your neurons. Yeah? And stretching neurons are important. So here's the thing. Use it or lose it. That's the deal. And that works for everything, okay? We all have muscles. Everybody has muscles, right? People who do exercise, who go to gym, who do some physical work, they are using those muscles and they stay with you longer. Everybody having muscle, but somebody having muscle but not using it, you end up making your muscles weaker. So is the case with neurons. Everybody's brain has enough neuron cells to give you that intelligence. How much we are using is what will ensure how powerful those neurons are. Let's go to the next one. Which of the following saving account plan would yield exponential growth of the money in the account? So there is not much in the question. Maybe there is enough meat in the options itself. It says, which of the following saving account plans would yield exponential growth of the money in the account? Option A is 2% of the initial value of the account is added to the value of the account each year. 2% of initial value of the account is added to the value of the account each year. Option B, 2% of initial value. Okay? Option B is 1.5% of the current value of the account is added to the value of the account each year. 1.5% of the current value of the account. 1.5% of current value is added of the account is added to the initial value of the account. Option C is $500. Signing bonus is added when the account is first opened and 0.5%. This signing bonus is added when the account is first opened and then 0.5% of the initial value
is added to the value of the account each year. And option D is $100 customer loyalty bonus is added to the account each year. $100 is added each year. Now, you guys are actually put on the spot right now because this has nothing to do with you scoring 80%, 90% or 100% in your test. When you are going to decide on which account is beneficial for you, you have to make a call or take a call based on all these 4 options. Ayush has given me one answer, I will not tell you which one it is. I saw that. I will not tell that to everybody. I want everybody to think because it is your money. Let's see how you are deciding on that. Okay, so Rehan, you'll sit down. We'll start in 5 minutes, okay? Yeah. I will close the door because it's pretty hot, so I'm keeping this island for keeping cold. Yeah, alright. So, everybody heard the question, right? The question says, which of the following saving account plans would yield exponential growth of the money in the account? And there are 4 options we have. 2% of the initial value is added to the account every year. 1.5% of the current value is added to the account every year. Option 3 is $500 signing bonus is given one time and then 0.5% of the initial amount is added to the account every year. And this is option 4, which says don't worry about it, $100 is given to you every year. Which saving plan looks better? So I heard Ayush. How about, what do you think? It is your money. Make a judicious call. So we will start the class for younger ones in 2 more minutes. I'm just wrapping up the class with the high schoolers, okay? Yeah. Yes. So what do you guys think? Ansika, Vishal, Vasundhara, Nanya, Sachir, Dushan, Thiru, Riya. Which option? So we have just 1 more minute left. See, on any given day, you have to look at which one is simple interest, which one is compound interest. Because compound interest is the interest scenario where you are getting interest on the top of your interest. Now, if it is giving 2% of initial value every year, this is a perfect scenario of a simple interest. That will give you less benefit. This is compound interest. It's giving 1.5% of the current value. So 100 became 105 and then it is used for calculating your interest. This one is initial bonus is exciting, but this has come down. And again, it's simple interest. Again, this one is $100 fixed. I would get maximum benefit from this account if I am keeping $5. I have only $5. I am keeping the account and bank is giving me $100 every year. Nothing like it. But if I am keeping $5,000 or $10,000, this will not make much sense to me. So simple interest I will rule out. Again, simple interest I will rule out. When I am talking about bank, neither bank fools around nor do we. So we go for serious business with bank. Bank does serious business as well. Considering the amount saved in the bank is significant, you would always look for the compound interest option or the higher compound interest option, not anything which is simple interest in nature. Yeah. So with that being said, I will let you guys go. Let you enjoy the rest of your weekend and we'll meet again tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the time when we will actually muddle the water quite a lot.
Alright, so with that being said, I'll let you guys go. See you tomorrow. Alright, bye bye.